Welcome back, everyone. I am so delighted that you are here, and I am here with the beautiful Jenny Trenne. And it's so fun how the universe works because we met on a networking event that a friend of a friend of a colleague saw something I did and was like, "Hey, can we get on Zoom and like talk?" And I was like, "Sure." She was the one that told me about this networking event, and I've been meeting some really amazing people. And if you're in this holistic healing space, you know that sometimes feel a little awkward because it's like if it's all like suits and stuff, like we don't know if we can like be ourselves. And so for me, it was just like revolutionary that there were like business people, but like they're all about the same stuff that we're about. They're just like not maybe as out of the closet as we are. So I also just wanted to share that because I think it's important, follow your intuition to the right invitations. But this journey of the authentic self, like I know for me, like the hardest thing is going to be if I'm around a bunch of suits and I don't want them to know that I'm a healer, that I do this stuff. So it's just beautiful how we met. And Jenny is an energy healer, of course, and a reconnection coach. She is a Reiki master, a craniosacral therapy practitioner, which is so interesting. I'm wondering how that came to be because I woke up in the middle of the night, one of the nights this week, and someone was talking about craniosacral therapy. So I guess it was a little nugget for our conversation today. And a therapeutic reflexologist. I've only seen a reflexologist once, and it was like the coolest, most amazing thing. Highly, highly recommend if you've never tried it. And Jenny's also a meridian therapist and a quantum touch practitioner, which is so amazing. And I'm so grateful that you're here. I know that was like a super long intro, but we'd love to just dive in and like know more about you. Like you're just so adorable, and like you have all these like really cool things that you do. And in the world we're always trying to like describe what we do. Like I'm a reconnection coach. Like that's freaking
Yeah.
cool. So just your journey, like as far back as you want to go, of like you showing up in a podcast and being like, "Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm a reconnection coach."
Sure. Thank you, Fallon. And thank you for that really beautiful intro. That was great. Um, yeah, and that community where we met, I had the same misgivings the first time, but they're actually really great. They're very heart-centered. There's
Yes.
a whole lot of people like us on there, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so cool. Thank you for reaching out to me. And I've seen you previously, so it was really cool.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
was another thing that I loved because if you know me, like a lot of my community I got from the summits because that was like my main strategy to get new people. And so when I heard that you were doing a summit soon, I just immediately jumped in because I liked your energy. And summits are a lot of work, you guys, and they're like so
Yeah.
amazing and so completely deeply transformational, with or without an eclipse season. So I'm excited for Jenny to also share more about the summit she has coming up and then some of the other really cool things that you're doing in the world.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's my first summit, and you're right about it being a lot of work. I partly don't know what I'm doing in putting together the summit part of it, and Tech and me are not great friends, but I'm learning, and it's been a fun journey. And what started out as quite daunting has actually turned into a really fun process. And just connecting with everyone and the conversations, I'm really loving it. So yeah, I'll come back to the summit. It's a mindfulness and embodiment summit, so I'd love to tell you about it a little later. Um, a little about me and my story. It's always difficult to know where to begin, but okay, so
In utero, just kidding.
yeah, I didn't have like a clear moment, like this grand awakening. It's more been this subtle thing for a long, long time. So yeah, going back a long time, um, I had this about 30 years ago or so. I had this very clear vision that I literally saw blue light shining around my hands, and I asked the universe, okay, like what am I meant to be doing in this lifetime? And I got this very, very clear message. You're a healer. You're meant to be a healer. And, you've been a healer before. And this lifetime, you're also, like, as I think a lot of us are, right? It's like we keep coming back to this in various ways and forms. And then it took me a while to step into that. And I kept over the years having that memory of, yeah, you're meant to do this and you're not doing other stuff. And then somewhere in that timeline later on, I started really more profoundly on a self-development process and spiritual awakening, I guess you would call it. And I have this amazing angel teacher who, yeah, she's just been a phenomenal influence in my life. And there's this real close-knit group of women, and we used to gather like officially once a year for a retreat. And sometimes we'd get together apart from that. But so that really built stuff over the years. But you know, so I knew, okay, I'm a light worker. I'm meant to be bringing in all the stuff, and we would have these things, and we would send light. And I'm in South Africa, in Cape Town, so like sending bridges of light throughout Africa and the world, and it was fantastic. And I feel very aligned with that. And then I'm an energy healer, so I'm a Reiki master as part of that. And then I wanted to deepen that, so I did the reflexology thing, and together with meridian therapy and craniosacral therapy, which I absolutely adore. And it took me a while to kind of really mesh it all together and realize everything that I'm drawn to is about the flow of energy. So, I mean, obviously Reiki and energy flowing to where it's needed in your body, the meridians, the lines of energy running through and helping clear those, and the craniosacral. When I'm doing that, I feel totally in my flow and in my zone. It's just such a beautiful thing and process, and it's so subtle and so profound. So working with the bones, and basically what you're doing is moving cerebrospinal fluid, like you can speed it up, you're helping clear stuff out, you're helping flush the system. So all of those things kind of tie it together. And then the quantum touch I did more recently, which just kind of also up levels everything, and that you can kind of combine them all in a way. And certain, so I do different things with different clients and mix and match, and then use the angels and mix everything together. But yeah, coming back to how I really got here to what I'm doing now, which also brings in the coaching, is so I was doing all this, and that was a big part of my life, doing stuff in my therapy room, being a light worker, but I was also doing like editing and science writing and all that kind of stuff. So I had these very different energies going on. And back in the day, I worked for a company. It wasn't like the whole big corporate environment, but it was very deadline driven and a lot of that energy. And then I decided, okay, I'm stepping out on my own. I'm going to freelance. I'm going to control my own time, right? And I had 2 little kids at the time, who are now teenagers. And it actually worked for me very well for a number of years. And I got to not have to do that school run, the commute, and I got to go to the soccer games, and I controlled my time, and I was working from home doing the 2 very different things. And that was great for quite a lot of years. And then suddenly what happened is the editing work and the writing specifically just got more and more intense, and more kind of started to take over. And I feel like I lost 2 years of my life where I was just working constantly, every weekend, every night until the early hours. I wasn't getting enough sleep. My self-care deteriorated. And, you know, I should know better, but you get on this thing. It was like this hamster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was working for myself, it's like there's this fear of saying no to the next job, because then you might not get the next one. And the projects got bigger. And some of the people were quite tricky to work with. And it just became like a little toxic. Not everybody, there's some beautiful people as well, but there was it definitely became quite challenging at times. And eventually I was just, no. And while this was happening and while all that was intensifying, this divine frustration that I was feeling, this
Ooh,
calling of,
divine frustration.
yeah, that I love that term because
I
it
love it too.
encapsulates it so beautifully, right? Because
It's my life right now.
yeah, it's like, this is calling me, this is calling me. You're not living your purpose, right? Step into your purpose. And I could feel it, and it was pulling me. And then the jobs got more and more intense, which was the universe saying, time to get out of this now. Time to step into why you came here. And yeah, there was one particular job which just, it was kind of insane. I won't go into detail. It was insane. And I think that was the final, and I just jumped off the cliff really and said, this is it. I'm stepping into my purpose. I came here for a reason, to do a specific thing, and it's time to do it. So it was very, that was a very pivotal moment, like a line in the sand kind of thing. And it wasn't that easy. There's obviously challenges around that. But I felt so peace having made that decision and listened to the guidance and done it. And so, yeah, my big thing is helping other women do that, like step into their purpose, who are feeling that pull, that divine frustration, and they're like, I need to do the thing. So yeah, that's my story essentially.
That is amazing. And yeah, I think a lot of people listening are about to take the leap, or they just took the leap and they're like, where the fuck is my parachute? You're supposed to be here. So
Yeah.
if you're listening, like this is completely perfectly timed, because we're being pushed, right? Like this
Yeah.
eclipse, like literally pushed, like you have to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like you
Things are
can't
speeding up.
ignore it
We're
anymore.
feeling it, right?
Yeah. Incredible. And so this was how long ago that you had this pivotal?
Um, this was not that long ago. So the energy work has been for some of it. The Reiki stuff started about 15 years ago, and the
Amazing.
energy work has been about a decade. And then the reflexology and adding all that's about 6 years. And then I was doing some one-on-one coaching with that, but the coaching element, the online part of it, is quite
Mhm.
recent. So that's
Wow.
literally within this year, I decided to go online. I had this whole invisibility thing that I had to work through, and it's been great. And I'm loving the process.
Incredible. And so I know you wanted to talk about your, oh my God, something just fell on me. Um, oh my God, there's like so much cool stuff happening right now that I can't really explain, but just like, I don't know, there's very cool things happening here in the
You're in
clouds.
such a beautiful place.
I know, a vortex for sure. I know you wanted to talk about your mom and that journey
Yeah,
and how she's
yeah,
been a supportive person for you. So if you wouldn't mind just
yeah.
diving into that.
Sure, sure. Um, I hope I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I believe your people, your
We
followers,
love details.
amazing detail
Paint us a
people. So,
picture. We want to go there to this time and
okay,
space with you.
okay. Feel free to jump in if I'm going off too far. Okay, so I I've always been really close to my mom. My mom was and is a huge person in my life. So I'm very lucky that way, and I realize I'm blessed and that it's not the case for everyone. But she was, yeah, my biggest supporter and still is, even more so now. And yeah, my mom died in August, near the end of August this year. So it's not long ago. It's a few months
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, so it's very recent. I'm still processing stuff.
Yeah. It's like
Um,
6 weeks,
yeah,
if that.
it's 2 months. So actually, yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
It's very recent. So, and it was unexpected. It was very unexpected. It was sudden. It was a huge blow. And she was going to come back to visit me. My mom lived her last 20 years or so in LA. So I'm in South Africa. She was in LA. She used to travel back and forth. So I'm blessed that I got to see her earlier this year, and she spent some months with me. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that. But anyway, it was sudden, it was a shock. And the part that I wanted to tell you is what started happening. So I feel my mom like very strongly with me. It's this definite, strong presence, unmistakable, and I just feel her support, and it's like she's powering me, really. So if I can express it like that. And about a week after she died, I was at this market. I went to just distract myself, and I needed to get out, and I was at this market, and I was near the corner. So I was right by the corner of the room. There wasn't much between me and like going to the ladies, going to the bathroom. It was one stall, in fact, only one stall in that corner out of everything else, right? And I got this message on my phone. I picked up my phone, and it was this photo of my mom with these butterfly wings. And it was a friend of hers had sent it, and I'd never seen the photo before. And it just, for some reason, that particular photo just hit me like a wall. And the whole transformation, can I show it to you?
I would love that. Oh my
I've
God.
got it. I've got it on my phone. So there's my mom
Oh
with
my
the butterfly
God. She's
wings.
so
Like,
cute.
so she was walking past this place, and these wings were there, and it took the photo, right? And so I felt this like physical knock almost after seeing it. And then I thought to myself, I've got to just get to the bathroom, like get to the ladies, because I'm going to break down, and I'm in this public place, right? And fell, and it was 2 or 3 steps, that's all. And immediately there was only one stall there, and my eye just fell, and there was this butterfly, right? On a same one, monarch butterfly, orange butterfly, on a stick, in the store. And I was like, I've got you, mom. Like, thank you. Like, which she's got me, really. And so anyway, I went out, went where I needed to go, kind of got my stuff together, came back out, and I bought the butterfly. But it was so immediate. I saw the photo. It was probably 30 seconds later, there was the butterfly right there. And since then, just this whole thing with butterflies started happening. So for me and my sister, who's in the States as well, so for me, it was winter. We were just going into spring. And so I wasn't seeing real butterflies, but I was seeing butterfly symbols everywhere. It was just coming. My sister, this is all within a few days. Okay, we got the photo. I got the butterfly. The same day or the next day, a monarch butterfly, an orange butterfly, flew straight at my sister. Like, they don't usually do that.
Yeah.
They like, they do their thing. Straight at her and up. Okay, and she was like, whoa, what was that? And then a couple of days after that, she was stand-up paddleboarding, and this whole group of orange butterflies was following her while she was paddleboarding. And we were like, whoa. And it just kept happening. And then, yeah, my brother went over to LA for my mom's memorial. We watched it on YouTube, and we had we had written stuff and got photos and all of that. And yeah, so it was far. And he was there, and my mom's friend, who we hadn't said anything to him about the whole butterfly thing, right? Us siblings all started talking about it because it just started happening.
Yeah.
And we hadn't said anything to him. And he was getting my mom's ashes from the car. And he came back in, and my brother, who was there at the time, so the friend said to my brother, wow, the strangest thing just happened. I was getting the ashes out of the car, and all these butterflies were just fluttering around the car. And my brother just was like, whoa. And then he told him about the whole butterfly thing. And we all just, like, each thing that happened was just amazing, amazing. You know, there's a whole lot of them. I won't go into more and more, but it was just escalating.
Well,
And
and I have something to add too. So, you know, YouTube does its thing, magic, right?
yeah,
So, you know, card pulls, tarot, like all about it. But there's this adorable girl who has 500,000 followers and has YouTube ads. And she's like, you pick a picture of these four things, the one you gravitate toward, and I'll give you a reading. It's visual psychology, something, something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was like, this is something new. Like, look at me trying something new. Cool. So I did it last night and
Hi.
basically just calling me out on my codependency. And I was like, I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna make some changes. And she's like, you'll know that you're on the right path and doing the right thing when butterflies keep popping up. And I was like, well, I'm like, I see butterflies all the time. So it's going to be something like very profound, like what you're sharing.
And here we go. You know, and we shouldn't even be surprised by these things
I know.
anymore, right? It's just escalating like so beautifully.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, it kind of, so what happened after that was, since my mom's crossing, I became more strongly aware of my grandmother as well. So I could, you know, I was aware of my grandmother before, but now it was like, it kind of like cemented in, like, like my grandmother, my mother, me. And at the same time, my daughter started going through like this whole spiritual transformation, which I'm not going to go into detail because that's her story, not mine to tell. But it's a beautiful thing. And I got this very clear vision that we're all represented by butterflies, and my gran is the yellow butterfly, my mom is orange one, I'm the blue one, and my daughter's green one, you know, like that light green,
Yes.
yellow one.
Beautiful.
Since then, when my daughter now we can get the actual butterflies, we're going into spring, and my daughter had a question and she looked and there was this greenish butterfly outside her window, and like just keeps happening. And then all these symbolic blue butterflies I keep seeing whenever it's something related to me and my business and my life and my energy, there's a blue one. And when it's just been amazing. And I didn't even I forgot that my daughter had made me years ago these two blue butterflies in this little artwork, and it's in my therapy room. And I was in there and I suddenly, oh yeah, this is on the wall. Like, you know, I should have realized that earlier. And then, so basically the day that this whole lineage thing was really strongly in my mind with the butterflies and the female lineage, the next day I was speaking to one of the beautiful women who's a speaker at my summit, beautiful soul. And we were chatting about what she's going to talk about. And she said, oh, she's going to talk about the feminine lineage and the power and potential in our feminine ancestors. And she's going to take people through a telepathic connection to their mothers, whether they've crossed or not. And I was just like, okay, like, I'm glad I stepped into this because I'm in the right place at the right time, because just signs are coming in at such a
Yeah.
pace. I mean, it was the next day after that whole lineage thing. So I'm like, okay, wow, that's perfect. Yeah. And even bears, okay, the bears I feel is my mom's way of expressing her sense of humor and like having a little, like telling us not to be so serious about everything and that we can laugh at life and at
Yeah.
ourselves. Because she had this big thing about wanting to see a bear in the wild, okay, because we don't get bears here. We've got a lot of beautiful animals, but we don't have bears. So when she went to the States, she's like, I'm going to see a bear in the wild, and it was her thing. And she was doing some hiking and various things over time, and eventually she saw a bear. So she was hiking with a friend and they saw the bear on the path, and she was like, I'm doing it. There's the bear. And then she, backed away, and I like, so she was really happy about that. And that the story of how she wanted to see a bear and saw the bear was briefly mentioned at a memorial. And then when this whole butterfly thing was happening, my sister suddenly we started, it was butterflies mostly, and then every now and again a bear. Like and then my sister found this bracelet all within the week. It was all close. And the whole strap was butterflies and bears, orange butterflies and bears.
Oh,
And we were just like, wow, okay, mom, you're so with us. You're like so strongly with us.
incredible. I have had a bear obsession too, and I was at my friend's wedding last year in North Georgia mountains, which there's bears, but like, you don't know when you're going to see them or how. And I think I tell everybody that story all the time when anyone talks about bears because I was so happy that I got to see one. And we locked eyes and
Wow.
I saw it just like bounce across. It basically was in the middle of the road, just sitting there, and I was the only one on the road in the country. And I had my windows down and my roof open, and I was like, "Hello!" And we just like hung out and talked for a few seconds, and then boot scoot boogied. And like, it's so funny because bears are, they can be ferocious. But when you see a bear, like from at least the side angle, and it's running, and its whole body is just like furry and moving around and its butt's bouncing. It's like hard to take it seriously. It's like, you're so cute.
It's kind of a humorous
Yeah.
animal, really,
Yeah.
like cute. So that ties straight into my impression of the bear from my mom is sense of humor.
Mm,
Yeah.
so
And
cute.
then
So I would
yeah,
love to hear, just because all of the timing of things happening so quickly. And I'm sure there's someone here, and I know I've had a lot of people recently telling me like they've lost someone deeply that they care about and they're grieving. Make sure to take your saffron. But
yeah,
I'm like, ask for them. Ask them to send you something specific. Ask them to come to you in your dreams. Like, especially if you're building your business. Like, they want to
yeah,
support us. Like, they can make things happen so much faster. And so when I hear people
yeah,
talking about, manifestation, all these things, it's like, who's on your spirit team? And like,
yeah.
who are you not, asking to come to the front line for you, who is probably jumping up and down begging like a little kid, like, please let me come help you.
Yeah. And it's like angels, they can't help us unless we ask. So our
Exactly.
angels, our guides, our relatives have crossed to now our guides, yeah, our whole team ask. That's such a powerful reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And and the whole timing of this was quite hectic for me because I decided to put on the summit and I was all in that energy of it. And the next day, my mom died, like 24 hours later. And then I thought, well, I can't do it now. I'm going to postpone, and I'm just not in a space to do it. I can't deal with this now. And I just kind of froze for a while. And I was spending a lot of time looking at photos and just, as you do, I guess. And then I got this very strong message, like, no, carry on with the summit. Like, what are you doing? And my mom, I can be a little bit of a procrastinator, if I'm honest. And I'm very structured, but there's a good side to that and a not so good side to that. So the structure works really well for me, but it can also kind of, I need to get all my things ready. My mom just did things. My mom wasn't a procrastinator. She just did things like, okay, we're doing this now,
Yeah.
and did it. That's one of the things that always amazed me. I was like, whoa. So now I decided I'm channeling that energy from my mom and I must just do things like, so I felt very strongly that I must go ahead and that she's with me and that she doesn't want me to pause it. And then I was speaking to someone else, a channeler, and she was like, your mom is with you and she's your greatest supporter and she's with you. And she says you must go ahead. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I got the same message. Yeah, I'm going ahead. And I have my moments, obviously. and it did slow things down. So the summit's next week, and I only just started marketing it.
Yay!
So that would have been different. I would have had more time. I would have done things a little differently. But I think it'll be how it is. And I must just go, just do the thing, you know?
Amazing. Amazing. I
Yeah.
know it's not even close to the same, but I lost my dog halfway through my second summit. And I'm like, what am I meant to learn here, other than
Yeah.
showing up and, I was supposed to interview my friend and colleague who's a pet medium. She's like, Lulu, that's my dog's name. She's like, she wants you to take a couple of days to yourself and like not push through this. Like everything's gonna work out. And of course, it was my summit that was about intimacy and boundaries. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
loud and clear, loud and
Loud
clear.
and clear. Loud and clear. Were the messages from the universe always this loud and clear, or we're just getting more attuned to them, or and
I
more coming?
I really think it's the gratitude effect, right? Like I'm so grateful that this sign and synchronicity happened. And like, I like to track my synchronicities throughout the day and then try to, think about them at night before I go to sleep. And I feel like that's opened up a lot more of them. But also just like I was told I just needed to surrender for a very
Yeah.
long time. And I finally did it. And then that's when stuff started coming in. And even just some of the other little things that have been going on around me since we've been talking. I mean, I've never seen so many lime green bugs around me. They're all over the place. And that makes me happy because it makes me think of your daughter and like
Yeah, I was just
every
thinking that's my daughter.
yeah, and like that's why I do what I do, right? It's
Mm.
generational healing and having an awake teenager. I mean, best mom award.
Well, thank you. I'll gratefully accept, but it's really not all me. And you look back and you feel like, oh, I could have done that better and that better, and I wasn't so great there. But overall, you do your best, and yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So, and she's just flying. Like, yeah, it's been amazing. Anyway, that's her story. And
So cool.
she turns 20 on Monday, so
Oh my
her
God.
birthday's coming up.
Sweet girl. I love that for her. Happy early birthday.
Thank you. So it's that whole transition from no longer being a teenager, which I think does bring in new energy.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah,
Entering the 20s. That's exciting.
yeah, big milestone.
So fun. So tell us more about the summit.
Right. It's mindfulness and embodiments summit. So for me, those two things go so beautifully together because
Mm-hmm.
it's living in a mindful state, which we all know, right? And we know we should do these things. It's not brand new information. It's making it top of mind and throwing in a few little gems here and there to because we know a lot of things that we're not necessarily doing. So it's
Yep.
doing that every day, living in that state. And so it's a topic that really resonates with me. Yeah, I'm a lot about mindset and mindfulness. So it was a natural topic for me. And embodiment, bringing it in and making it your
Mm-hmm.
truth. So embodying not just your emotions, but your truths so that you can really speak your truths from a resonant place, not just sitting in your head, but coming down to your throat chakra so you can speak about it, coming down into the heart, into the gut,
Mm-hmm.
sitting with it. Does this resonate for me? What pieces of this am I taking for me and what don't work for me? So that everything we're doing and saying and projecting is aligned with who we are. Yeah. So that's the summit it's a pre-recorded summit. So it opens at 6 a.m. Eastern time. I've put everything in Eastern time because if it was in my time, it would be like the night for everybody. I'm used to working nights. It's kind of what I do. So it's in Eastern time. So it opens at 6 a.m. Day one. So it's the 10th and 11th of October, which is next week. And the so it's 2 days. Each of the talks are available for 48 hours. But at the end of each day at 5 p.m. Eastern, there's a live Q&A with the speakers from that
Fun.
day. So it's better if they watch during that day, so
Yeah.
that then you can join the live Q&A, ask questions, interact. Yeah.
Well, and
So
if you've been waiting for the 1010 portal event to pop in, I know for me on my calendar, it's like 7788991010 clear, whatever lands comes in comes in. So this is an answer prayer for sure. And obviously the links are below for you guys to register. And then
please
also
register.
also wanted to talk about your little quiz that you offer, because I'm going to put the link below to that, and it's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's the path to
Orange butterfly
fulfillment
just
and
went
purpose.
into my face and is now
Making their message
on my
known.
volleyball. It's feeling playful, apparently.
Okay. You've got a volleyball.
Hell yeah.
I love it. You're
I
out
use
in
it as
nature.
a soccer ball, but still.
Yeah. I play soccer. I play league soccer, which is
That's
ridiculous at my
right.
age.
It's
My
so
teammates are like
cool.
40 years younger than me, and I'm not very good, but I love it. So I
It's
just
so
play for
fun.
fun.
Soccer is the world's best sport.
It is so amazing. I love it so much. It's
Yeah.
just my best. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, my quiz. Yeah, just soccer will distract me anytime. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa. Um, yeah, it's a short quiz. The thing is, the goal is to really sit with each question. Because sometimes we look at something and we're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know that. But to really sit with it, and it's to help us see where we need to focus more, which life areas are needing our attention, needing a bit of love. And so it's about aligning your daily actions with what really lights you up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
So
fun. So beautiful.
yeah.
Love
Thank you.
it. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm so grateful for your beautiful transmissions and your beautiful stories. That's what life's about, sharing stories, you know?
So yeah, I always think back to Celestine Prophecy and how when I first read it so many years ago, I was always like, but how is it going to really work that we're just sharing our stories and and that's our main currency? And I keep thinking, yeah, it's happening, which is such a beautiful thing, right?
What is it called? I have no idea what you're talking about, and I need to know.
Oh, sorry, Celestine Prophecy. It's a book.
Ooh, okay.
It's one of my favorite books. So,
I
um,
mean, frequency currency is my jam, so I will be starting that immediately. Thank you.
it's frequency currency, and it's was written long ago. It's such an amazing book, though. It's
I'm so
yeah.
excited.
There's 9 insights, and then there's another book, the 10th insight. So basically, it's like taking each insight and making it into a story. Like each chapter's going through another insight that gets released, and yeah. Anyway, I love it.
I love that too. And I think it's important because I mean, growing up, I had elderly neighbors and like I loved listening to their stories, and it always just made me feel better because I was the most dramatic teenager you could ever imagine, and everything was horrible all the time. And there's just a lot more people talking about it. And I know that um, there's even like programs now where like you can go to a senior living center or a library and like you can just like
And
listen to
read to
someone's
people.
stories. Yeah. And I think that I mean, at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants
Yeah,
to know.
yeah.
I mean, if you're in a community or part of a Patreon or something like, or YouTube, like you just want to hear the people's stories because it makes us feel connected, and then you
Makes us
can learn stuff.
connect and be human, like
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
it's always nice to know that other people are going through like their own unique things, and maybe you're struggling in this area of your life, but this person figured that out and they're dealing with something else that you've processed. So like why wouldn't you
Help
exchange,
them.
you
Yeah.
know?
And the coaching process that I do is very it's a women-centered approach. So it's very much about unlocking the matrices, because it turns out so many of us have the same patterns and the same limiting self-concepts, you know, like
Yeah.
that I'm not enough, or I'm too much, or I'm invisible, or I'm this, or I'm that. And just helping people work through that. Like, we're really not alone. We've got a lot of the same stuff going on wherever we are in the world, you know. It's
Exactly. We came
so,
to Earth in a
yeah,
female body this time around for a
yeah,
reason. So
yeah, precisely.
amazing. Well, is there anything that you would like to say in
Um,
closing?
just thank you. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. I've loved it. I've loved chatting to you. Thank you for inviting me into your world, and yeah, and for bringing your lovely energy in. I love it. Thank
Of
you.
course. Yeah, this was incredible. And um, I'm just really, really excited about this summit and a lot of the things that you're doing. And I just see
Thank
some
you.
really cool things happening for you. So thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
sharing your
Yeah,
magic with us.
thank you. I'm basically blending the energy work into the coaching, and yeah, and mindful techniques, and yeah, working it all out as I go, because it's what I'm living, and what I just feel is coming forth and is just coming to me. So I'm finally doing it and stepping into that process, and I'm embracing it, and I love the journey. Thank you.
Yay. Oh my gosh, you are so welcome. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We love you. We will see you in the next episode soon. And definitely be sure to register for Jenny's summit. And we all love the quizzes. If you're here, you know we love the quizzes. So very excited about that. And thank you so much, Jenny.
You guys.
Bye for now.